Let your body settle now. Your shoulders. Notice how they have lifted a little, perhaps without your asking. Let them lower, slowly, like a sail coming down. Your hands, wherever they are resting tonight, open at your sides, folded at your chest. They are not holding anything. They do not need to. Your jaw, loosen it, the smallest softening at the hinge. Let your tongue rest low in your mouth, behind your lower teeth. Your feet, heavy, quiet. A small warmth has gathered there beneath the blanket. And the blanket along the whole length of you. Its weight is kind. It already knows your shape. You are already here. There is nothing you need to solve right now. Nothing to plan. Nothing to remember. The day has been carried as far as it needs to be carried. Tonight there is only this. And as you breathe, the breath comes in slow, a little cool at the edges, and out even slower. You are in the Library of Alexandria. The year is 50 BCE. The harbor wind has dropped with the sun, and the long marble walks of the Mouseion are turning lilac in the last light. You are a librarian here, a young one of the night watch. You wear a plain linen chiton, an old wool himation folded over one shoulder against the sea air. You have walked up the avenue from the lower city, past the warehouses and the fish stalls, and now you stand at the colonnade of the great library, and the day folds itself slowly away. The colonnade is long and pale, and the columns rise above you in 2 slow rows. They are Doric at the base and finer above, painted once in soft ochre and faded now to the color of old honey. You walk between them. Your sandals make a small dry sound on the marble that the marble takes and gives back smaller. The day's last warmth still lives in the stone under your feet. You step through the high doorway into the great hall of the library. The air changes at once. It is cooler in here and dry, and it smells of papyrus and cedar oil and the faint resin of the wooden shelving. The smell is old. It has been gathering in this hall for 200 years. The hall is long and high, with a coffered ceiling far above, painted dark blue and set with small gilded stars. The walls are lined floor to ceiling with wooden cabinets, and each cabinet is divided into pigeonholes, and each pigeonhole holds a papyrus scroll laid on its side. Some of the scrolls have small tags of vellum hanging from the end, with a title written in careful black ink. A single oil lamp has been left burning on the long reading table at the center. Its flame is small and yellow and very still. The light does not reach the far end of the hall. The far end is in a soft, dusty blue. You set down your satchel on the bench by the door. You loosen your himation a little. The hall has the patience of a place that has watched many people come and go. It is not waiting for you. It is only here. You take the small terracotta lamp from the bench. You fill it from the jug of olive oil on the shelf. The oil is thick and green gold and a little fragrant. You trim the linen wick with a tiny pair of bronze shears. You touch the wick to the flame of the lamp on the table. It catches at once. A small bright bead of light, and then a steady, soft flame the color of barley. You begin the lamp lighting round. There are 7 lamps in the great hall, set on tall iron stands at even spaces along the walls. You move from one to the next without hurry. You lift the small clay lid. You touch your flame to the wick. The new flame takes. You lower the lid. You walk on. A flame, then another. The light grows a little in the hall, very slowly, like the light at the beginning of a long dawn. The shadows of the columns lean out across the marble floor, and then settle and stay. You can smell the warm oil now, and the faint, clean smoke that rises only a little way before it disappears into the high dark of the ceiling. The lamps make the smallest sound, a soft, almost not there hiss, like a person breathing across a room. There is nothing you need to solve right now. Nothing to plan, nothing to remember. The day has been carried as far as it needs to be carried. Tonight there is only this. The lamp. The next lamp, the slow round. You finish the last lamp on the western wall. You stand for a moment with the lit lamp in your hand. The hall is gentle now. Gold and shadow, cedar and oil, quiet. You walk along the eastern wall, where the scrolls of geography are kept. Each pigeonhole is the length of a forearm and a little wider than the scroll it holds. The scrolls lie on their sides, the end of each one facing out. The papyrus is the color of pale sand, and where the light reaches it, you can see the fine horizontal lines of the reed fibers pressed into the sheet. You pass your hand near them. You do not touch. The papyrus has a smell of its own, a dry, grassy smell, very faint, like an old field in summer after the cutting. The tags hanging from the scrolls are small rectangles of vellum tied with a thin linen cord. On each one a careful hand has written the author and the title, *Eratosthenes, on the measurement of the earth *. Strabo, Geographica, Book the 3rd *. Pythias of Mycelia on the ocean *. You read them slowly. You are only passing. You will not take any of them out tonight. Below the geography shelves, in long, low cedar chests, are the larger rolls, the maps. They are kept flat, rolled around wooden cores, wrapped in clean linen. You can see one end of the linen showing at the edge of a chest, soft and pale in the lamplight. You move on past the histories. Herodotus in 9 rolls, Thucydides in 8. The wooden labels above each section are painted in a steady black hand. The paint is old. In a few places it has flaked, and someone, perhaps you, last winter, has touched it up again. The shelves go on into the soft blue of the far hall. There are more scrolls here than any one person could read in a life. You know this. It does not press on you. The shelves are simply the shelves. You are simply walking past them. You pass through a low, arched doorway into the reading room. This room is smaller. The ceiling is lower, and the walls are plastered pale, and the air is warmer here because the readers have been in it all day. The long oak tables run the length of the room. The benches are pushed in neatly. The day scholars have gone home to their suppers. On the nearest table, a scroll has been left out. You step over. The reader has weighted the open part with two small, smooth stones of green marble, one at each end of the visible passage. This is the usual way. Papyrus likes to curl back on itself, and a stone or two keeps it patient. The hand on the scroll is Greek, in the small, even script of a copyist. You can see the careful spacing between the letters and the small dot the scribe has put at the end of each section. You do not read the words. You only look at the shape of them, like watching the patterns of a flock of small birds settling on a roof. You roll the scroll closed, very slowly. You move the two green stones to the side of the table where they will not be lost. You lift the scroll and carry it back to its pigeonhole. It slides home with a soft, dry sound. There are wax tablets stacked on the side bench, small wooden frames with a layer of dark wax in the middle. The day students have been practicing on them, scratching their notes with bronze styluses. A few have been smoothed already, ready for tomorrow. You lift one. The wax is cool and clean. You set it down again. Just stillness now. The room has the warmth of a room that people have used kindly. The lamp on the wall flickers with each breath, and the long tables stretch out into a dim, calm gold. A soft sound at the doorway. You look up. It is one of the astronomers from the upper terrace. An older man in a dark wool cloak, with a small folding tripod over his arm and a wax tablet in his hand. He has come down from the roof to fetch a reference scroll. He sees you and gives the small, quiet nod that is the greeting of the night people in the library. You do not need to speak. He does not need you to speak. He walks past you into the great hall to the shelves of the astronomical writings, Aristarchus, Hipparchus, Eratosthenes again. You hear the soft sound of a scroll being lifted from its place. You hear his sandals retreat, the same dry, small sound, going back toward the stair that climbs to the open roof. You imagine him up there. The sea wind a little stronger on the terrace. The stars laid out above the harbor. The lighthouse far off on its island, the small, slow turn of its fire. He will read his scroll by the light of a single lamp inside a small horn lantern and write what he sees on the wax tablet and bring the scroll back down before the first gray of morning. That is his work tonight. It is not yours. Your work is only this, the lamps, the shelves, the quiet rooms. The hall settles again behind him. The lamps continue their small, even breathing. There is nothing you need to remember about him. He is only a small kind passing in the long evening of the library. The hall takes him and lets him go and is still. You step out through a side door into the inner court. The court is open to the sky. It is a small square garden enclosed by the four walls of the library and the lecture halls. The sky above is a deep evening blue, and one bright star has already appeared above the eastern wall. A long rectangular pool runs down the center of the court. The water is dark and very still. Around the pool are low beds of herbs, rosemary, thyme, bay, marjoram, and along the western wall a small grove of pomegranate trees, their fruit still small and green. The night air here is soft and a little salt. The harbor is not far. You can hear, very faintly, the slow lift and fall of water against the great stones of the eastern mole. You can hear, even more faintly, a rope creaking somewhere out on a moored ship. The pool holds the sky. The single star sits on its surface, perfectly still, and beside it sits the small reflected shape of the lamp in your hand. You look down at the water. The water looks back at you calmly, without question. You walk once around the pool. The herbs brush your ankles as you pass. The smell of crushed rosemary lifts and stays a moment in the air around you. Then the smell of bay. Then the cooler smell of stone and water and the salt night. Simply this: the garden, the pool, the first star, the slow breath of the harbor beyond the wall. The day has set itself down. You are not asked to lift it. You sit for a moment on the low stone bench by the pool. The marble has been warmed by the day and is cooling now, slowly, kindly under you. You return into the library and pass into the small side room where the catalogue is kept. This room is the heart of the order of the place. Along the walls are tall, narrow cabinets, and each cabinet holds rows of small wooden tablets and bundled lists. This is the Pinakes asterisk, the catalogue first made by Callimachus of Cyrene, 200 years ago, and added to ever since by the long, quiet patience of the librarians. The works are sorted by kind. Orators here, lawgivers there, philosophers in their own cabinet, poets, and within poets, the epic from the lyric from the dramatic. Each author has a small list. Each work has a line. Each line gives the opening words of the scroll, so you may know which scroll is which when two have the same title. You lift one of the wooden lists. It is light in your hand, the cedar smooth and a little soft along the edges from use. You read down a few lines, the names of poets you have never heard of, and one or two that you know. The hand that wrote this list lived perhaps 50 years before you. The letters are still even, still patient, still here. You set the list back in its place. You touch the next one only with the side of your finger, gently, to align it with the others. The cabinet closes with a small wooden sound. It is good, you think, though you are not really thinking, only feeling. It is good that someone, long ago, sat down and wrote out the names of all the scrolls in this house, so that anyone who came after, in any year, could walk to the right shelf and find the right roll. The order of it is a kindness across time. There is nothing you need to do here tonight. The catalogue is in its place. The scrolls are in their places. The lamps are burning. The rooms are quiet. You make your last round of the lamps. You turn down the wicks of the brightest, leaving only the low, even glow that will burn through the night. Then you walk down the short corridor that leads to the small rooms where the night staff sleep. Your room is the third door. You push it open. It is a narrow cell with a single small window high up, shuttered now against the sea air. A pallet lies along one wall, a wooden frame strung with rope, a straw mattress, a folded woolen blanket, and a small linen pillow stuffed with dry herbs from the garden. A low chest at the foot holds a clean tunic and a comb, and one or two other small things. A single oil lamp burns in a niche above the door. You unlace your sandals and set them at the foot of the chest. You loosen your belt. You fold your himation over the chest, smoothing it once with the flat of your hand. You lie down on the pallet. The straw shifts a little under you and then is still. You draw the woolen blanket up to your chest. The linen pillow smells faintly of bay and dry lavender. There is nothing you need to plan for the morning, nothing to remember. The other watchman will come at the change of the lamps. The catalogue will still be in its cabinet. The harbour will still be there, lifting and falling against the mole. The lamp in the niche is small and quiet. The shadows along the plastered wall move only very slightly, as if breathing with you. The room sinks gently into a low gold dark. Outside, the night settles over the city. You can hear, very far off, the slow turn of the great fire on the lighthouse out at Pharos. You cannot see it from your room, but you know it. The slow, even tending of a flame for the ships at sea. Somewhere a sailor is reading it on the water and turning his ship by it. That is his night. This is yours. Closer, you hear the sea against the eastern mole. The lift, the slow fall, the lift again. The sound is old. It is older than the library, older than the city. It will go on long after this night, and it asks nothing of you. Your shoulders have lowered a little further without your noticing. Your jaw is soft. Your hands are quiet on the rough wool of the blanket. Your feet are warm. The straw beneath you has taken your shape and is holding it gently. In the great hall, the lamps are burning low and even. The scrolls are in their pigeonholes. The maps are folded in their linen. The catalogue lists are aligned in their cabinets. The pool in the inner court is holding the stars, one by one, as they come out. There is nothing in the long night that needs anything from you. The astronomer on the roof is watching the sky. The harbour is keeping its slow time. The lighthouse is turning its fire. The library is breathing very gently around you, like a great, kind animal asleep. The breath comes in slow and out even slower. The room takes you in. The blanket is warm. The pillow holds your head. You are kept. The sea keeps its quiet rhythm, and you let go.